Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Heni Wahyu Kurniawati with name 6670250048. I will here give several questions to my colleagues, namely Wina, and will answer several questions given by Wina. Okay, Wina, I am here with my colleagues, namely.
Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Rolina Winita with NIM 6670250024.
Okay, Wina, please ask me a question.
Okay, in question number 1, in your opinion, how does money politics affect the quality of democracy in Indonesia today?
Okay, the impact of money politics on the quality of democracy in Indonesia is currently clearly negative in terms of legitimacy and representation. This practice of money politics can weaken legitimacy because the elected leader does not have good political skills, but instead wins from the result of the short transaction he carries out before the voters, or what we usually know as down attacks. Democracy can turn into procedural without seriousness because voters are no longer chosen based on ideas and track record, but rather by how much money the candidate provides to get him elected. The quality of representation also decreases because elected candidates tend to fail to have an investment that must be returned after taking office. In my opinion, this is the root of the emergence of policies that favor the interests of the elite and minimal bias toward the community. Money politics ultimately makes democracy an arena for capital competition, not a competition for ideas and mission. Okay, thank you, Wina, for questions.
Okay, Henny, questions number 2. What strategies can be implemented to reduce candidates' reliance on money politics?
Okay, strategies to reduce candidates' dependence on money politics require structural and cultural approaches, where strengthening the campaign monitoring system and political funding must be placed as a first step so that political costs are more measurable and transparent. Apart from that, political parties need to build a merit-based recruitment mechanism so that candidates do not need to buy support from internal or external parties. However, the most impactful strategy actually lies in the capacity of citizens to reject political transactions. In my opinion, the main strategy so that money politics no longer takes root is self-awareness because people need self-awareness not to accept money from candidates. Money politics will remain a shortcut for candidates to attract a lot of sympathy. Okay, thank you for the question, Wina.
Okay. Question number 3. What are the main factors that make people still accept money politics?
Okay, the main factor that make people still accept money politics are related to socio-economic condition and political culture. Many citizens are economically disadvantaged. Poor, so cash ahead of election is seen a pragmatic benefit that can be immediately felt, especially because political promises are often considered unreliable. Apart from that, some people still see money politics as normal and not a violating of ethics. The strong patterns of patron-client relationship at the local level also makes residents feel obliged to reciprocate gift in the form of food. Votes. For me, the root of the problem is not the morality or voters, but the failure of the state and political parties to provide consistent public service so that people see not alternative but to accept the momentary over of money, Wina.
The question is done. Now you give me the questions, Henny.
Okay, question one. How does money politics affect the integrity and result of general election?
Okay, money politics significantly damages the integrity of general elections because it changes the nature of political participation from a democratic process into a transaction one. When candidates ask money to influence voters, the election no longer reflects the genuine aspiration of the people. Instead, it becomes driven by financial power and short-term personal gains. This reduces trust in the electoral process and creates an unfair advantage for candidates who have greater resources regardless of their competence or moral character. Furthermore, money politics often leads to the election of representatives who feel obligated to repay the financial investments they make during the campaign. This can manifest in corrupt practice such as misusing public funds, prioritizing private or elite interests, and engaging in patronage networks. As a result, public policy might be shaped not by what benefits society, but by what benefit those who funded or supported the candidates. Financial active over time, this weakness democratic institutions reduce public trust and harms overall governance quality. In short, many politics compromises fairness, transparency, and accountability, the core pillars of a healthy democracy.
Okay, question number two. Are current regulations effective enough to prevent money politics in election?
Although current regulations provide an important legal foundation to combat money politics, they are still far from fully effective. Many laws exist that prohibit fraud buying resorts. However, the challenge lies in implementation. Enforcement agencies often lack science, manpower, technology, and independence to thoroughly investigate violations. Many cases occur secretly using indirect channels, making it difficult to gather solid evidence. Additionally, political actors may exploit loopholes in the regulations, such as disguising vote buying as social assistance, campaign donation, or community events. Sanctions, even when they exist, are inconsistently applied and rarely lead to significant consequences for violators. This creates a perception that money politics is low risk and high reward. To To strengthen effectiveness, there must be better transparency in campaign financing, stronger oversight, improved coordination between institutions, and greater public involvement in monitoring elections.
Okay, question number three or last question. How can society play a role in fighting money politics and increasing awareness of clean politics?
Society has a powerful role in reducing money politics because lasting change must come from the attitudes and behaviors of the voters themselves. First, citizens can actively reject offers of money or goods from political candidates, recognizing that accepting them contributed to long-term harms such as corruption, poor leadership, and weak governance. Public participation in reporting officials' activities to election authorities is also critical in ensuring accountability. Community organization, educators, religious leaders, and youth groups can strengthen political awareness by providing civic education on the importance of clean election and the impact of corruption on daily life. Awareness campaigns where they're through social media, community meetings, or school programs can help shift public attitudes from transactional politics to value-based decision making. Moreover, an informed society that demands transparency, check candidates' backgrounds, and prioritizes ethical leadership will gradually reduce the influence of money politics when voters choose leaders based on integrity, vision, and competence rather than financial incentive. The political culture will improve and democracy will grow stronger. In essence, society active involvement, critical thinking, and commitment to clean politics are essential components in building a healthier and more responsible democratic system. Okay, Annie, thank you. Your questions.
Okay, everyone, that's all from us. More or less, sorry. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wabarakatuh.